I was relieved to arrive there. I always feel a sense of relief when I reach the place I'm going. I explained who I was and asked where I should be. She seemed confused at first, but once she understood, she told me where I needed to go. Somewhere else, somewhere close though, nearby. She told me to drive there, but I took a wrong turn and had to correct my journey in the road. Worried slightly by the fact that I again felt unsure of the place I was supposed to be. When I did get there, I ordered a drink, I sat down, and I looked for the organiser. I saw a couple who were kissing and being affectionate, and I imagined that they were there for the same reasons as me. I was there to make a drawing using the downloaded data collected from satellites through the GPS tracking device I was to wear. I felt insecure in the fact that there was a couple who would be part of the group, and by virtue of them being together, I felt more isolated. I saw the organiser arrive, and he asked the woman if anyone had turned up yet. She commented that just one person had arrived and pointed to me. I felt a sense of reassurance that I was the first person here and that the affectionate couple would not be part of the group. The organiser greeted me and went into a room. I attempted to get to know him by mentioning places that I knew we had in common. We talked about places like Nottingham and Berlin. We spoke of smaller places within Nottingham and Berlin until we located our position in this place at that moment. The second member of the group arrived, and I began the same process with him. He mentioned Northampton, and we spoke of places within places until we'd located ourselves together in the place that we shared at that moment. As the other members of the group arrived, the organiser asked us to say who we were and where we were from, and we began saying words like New York, London, Wakefield and Nottingham, until we'd all identified ourselves within a common place, which in this context was West Bretton in Yorkshire. By identifying our common places from our past, we felt local to where we were at present. To locate ourselves in a foreign place, we made conversational journeys to places where we felt local. We agreed to leave the space we shared momentarily once we were ready to begin our walks with our tracking devices. Some members of the group went off to walk together, but I decided to go alone. As I walked, I felt aware of the other members of the group. There was a trace of each of them with me as I made my lines on the ground. My GPS device displayed a small image of the drawing made by walking that I was producing as I produced it. This image was physical evidence of my presence in that place, made possible by technologies in other places. I was conscious that my movement was being traced both here and there. I thought about the others in the group. I was conscious of their movements, which made me more conscious of mine. It seemed as though each time I felt located in the place I was walking, my location was displaced by the presence of the other places elsewhere. The space that I produced whilst walking was specific to several places that were produced in multiple layers of contemporaneous space. The place that I was in was made specific by the ghost of the places I was not. As we reconvened, we made plans to go out for the evening. We ate and drank together and talked more about our lives. We spoke on mobile phones to our families, whilst others updated mood monitoring applications on their smartphones. We all moved constantly between our material bodies situated in Yorkshire and our immaterial presence elsewhere. Although we were producing social space, we were also in constant transit, or non-place, to use Mark Olgier's term. We left and headed for our hotel. We checked into our respective rooms and slept. I thought about the other members of the group. I imagined that they thought about me. I thought about what had happened during my experience of the past several hours, and I imagined different outcomes that as thoughts were as relevant as the actual facts were as actions. Our drawings made by walking appear still as they are seen on the page, but they are moving documents that hold traces of our moving bodies. And the place that is located by the drawings is dislocated by my attempts to recall the specific location. Each time I think of a specific place, I am moved elsewhere and find myself unable to reside in the stability of the proper.